Hi, everybody, and welcome to 9 to 5 Work Rebels. I am your host, Ebony Gale, and I am an original 9 to 5 Work Rebel, as you know. And this channel is all about talking to those people who have escaped the 9 to 5, as well as sharing information about how you can free yourself from the 9 to 5 and upskill and follow your own passions. So today I'm super excited to be speaking to the founder of Niz Cosmetics, Charlene Laville.
Hey.
And it's really interesting because she's created a great line, and the line is all from natural products, right? So
yeah,
Charlene, welcome. And
let's
start with how you first started your journey. So I know, for those who don't know, so Charlene has a nursing background, right? So and then went into cosmetics. So tell us about your journey.
Okay, so basically I kind of fell into Niz Cosmetics. It started as like a hobby. What happened in the beginning is when I had my second son, I started to watch YouTube's makeup tutorials, and I started, buying recommended products and things like that. High street Superdrugs type of thing. But I found when I was like going in buying stuff, it wasn't like true to tone for my skin tone. It wasn't like I wasn't getting what I expected out of the product.
Yeah.
I was spending loads on like lipstick, and I thought, hold on, I'm picking up this color lipstick. When I put it on my lips, it's not the color.
Yeah.
I got kind of obsessed with it, and then I thought, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could try and develop my own brand. Initially, the goal wasn't to build a brand. It was just to see if I could do something. I'm kind of a bit like that. I kind of always challenge myself to do something new. It was just a task I set for myself. When I done it, people liked it. It was a good product, and I kind of reverse engineered the whole concept because I knew I didn't want nothing that had chemicals or harsh ingredients. So I knew I was going to take out from the very beginning what I didn't want and work with what was left. And that's how I got the brand.
Right. That's amazing, though. And the fact is that you went from really your own passion, right? Because your own passion was lipstick.
Yeah, it was just something I got into, like something, a habit I picked up. I was literally on my lunch break. I worked a short amount of time. I was going into Superdrugs on my lunch break buying lipstick, spending loads of money on lipstick, and it was just I was not satisfied. I just kept going back, and it just wasn't working. I just thought, hold on, this is not working for me.
Yeah.
Let me try my own thing. So yeah, it literally was a passion.
And then, but you started and you used like natural ingredients. So where did that come from then?
Yeah, I think that came from me being a nurse. I just didn't want any harsh. When I started researching lipstick, I was like, oh gosh, you start to realize what's in the product, how harmful they can be, the chemicals they use, and you're just like, no, I'm not using that. From straight away, I knew I'm not using them type of stuff.
Yeah, because I've heard they use weird stuff in makeup.
They do, and I kind of kept fine-tuning it because first of all it was just natural. Then I went vegetarian. Then we went down to vegan. Then we went down to halal. So we really kind of like grabbed a really niche market.
Yeah, that's great.
And that was based on my personal beliefs. I kind of bring that into the brand.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I'm still yet to find out.
But I think that's a great thing because you're Muslim background, haven't you? Right. So you're Muslim, and so for you, that's important.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of women out there who want that. Yeah.
Right. I just thought if it's important to me, it's going to be important to millions of other women. So yeah, that's just how it went, really.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. I think that's good, and I think passion projects are really good things to get started with, and then you'll stick with it. And the fact that you use fruits and things in your ingredients, I think that's amazing. It's a great little niche as well. So your process of creating it, was you like, did it take you a little while to actually get the process going, and lots of trial and error and stuff? I'm gathering
a lot of trial and error.
Yeah,
a lot of trying on my mum and my sisters. A lot of that, like getting people around. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? How do you think this works? Because when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to really differentiate. Because it's a passion of yours. You're just like, is this good or not?
Yeah,
I'm quite harsh on myself, and I think that's how I got a good product. Because I was always like pushing. No, I want it to be a bit more this, a bit more that, a bit more pigmented, a bit more smoother, a bit more. I always pushed. So
yeah, and you've got two versions, right? You've got matte and
so we've got matte range and we've got Elasto range. Yeah,
right, Elasto range as well. Okay, and so that's just the difference in terms of finish and things like that, right?
Yes. Okay. So basically, the matte is full on matte, but it's like normally matte's very much a chemical product.
Yeah.
And we use clay.
Oh, cool.
So that's how we mattify that, and then the Elasto is just really like soft and buttery, and some people like that. It could be an age group thing.
I like that sort of one. That must be,
Yeah.
that's my favorite kind of ones. The ones that are all smooth and buttery. Yeah, that's great stuff. So that's interesting that you did that all yourself. And was it a long process? Would you say, like, from the idea that you had, which is, oh, I might just do this, to the actual getting it in, like the actual product in your hand? Was that kind of like about a long process, would you say? Or how long?
Do you know what? Actually, developing the product was maybe like a year-long process.
Okay.
That's just fine-tuning it to the standard that I wanted, having the casing that I wanted. But in terms of like bringing the product to the market, like this safety assessment, once you have the knowledge, it's pretty quick, because it makes us a big industry. Those type of services are out there. It's just knowing of what you have to do and reaching out to the right people. It costs. That's the biggest bit of it. It costs, but it's not unachievable.
Okay. And for you, the costing side of things, how did you manage that? Did you have to get like outside investors, or was that like yourself?
So I bootstrapped.
Yeah.
I bootstrapped for about maybe 2 to 3 years. Then we done a bit of private funding. So I went through friends and family. We raised up some money, and I used that to just kind of push the brand a little bit more, because we upgraded the cases. We literally got ready for retail. Barcodes, brilliant. And
oh, brilliant. That's amazing. And then that must have been scary as well as exciting process for you to go through, right? Because you're still working at the time,
it's
plus you're a mother.
Because and it's what's scary about it, because I left my job after a while. I left my 9 to 5 and I focused 100% on the brand. But even though when you're a parent, you're just not really 100%. You're just squeezing it in the school run. You know, you're going post office after you pick up the kids from school. I was doing that type of stuff. And being an entrepreneur, you need way more than 37.5 hours a week to push your brand. So that's the scary bit, that you're losing your security, but you're investing so much of, you know, your lifestyle, your bills, all of that on the line. Because you know it's in the long run, it's going to be beneficial, but it's a risk, and some people can't afford to leave their 9 to 5 to do it, and that's where the issue comes in, because you do need to put in. And I think the mistake I made is I didn't build a team quick enough. I should have really just built a team from the beginning and just said, you know what, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for that. I held onto the brand so much, I probably suffocated it a little bit. Because it was just my baby, and I was just like, I know how I want to do it. I don't think anyone else is going to do it better than this. Or you become so invested, and I think if anything I could have changed, it would be that. I wouldn't be as heavily invested.
So from your perspective, the fact that it was your baby made you more protective. So with hindsight, you'd change it. So someone who's coming up watching this, your suggestion would be to definitely like invest in a team, or just like bring together a little team together.
The team. Build a team. Stick with what you're good at. I'm good at product development. So you can't be product developing and marketing. You can't be at places and shows when you're supposed to be making 1,000 units of lipstick.
Absolutely.
So you need to just know where your strength is, apply yourself to that department, and then outsource. There's nothing. People think outsourcing is a negative thing, but it's actually a really good skill when you're.
It's absolutely crucial.
Now I'm like, do you know what? Who can do this? I can't be doing this no more. I'd rather overlook things and then just be like.
It makes more sense.
But at the time when you're
yourself up, by the time you're going through the whole process, so it's like a learning curve for you.
You don't realize,
especially coming from 9 to 5, it's a different process. Your mindset, everything's different.
Right, exactly. And when you look at the structure of a 9 to 5, you've got one person that does this, one person does everything.
Exactly.
You know, so
even if you work for yourself, like I do as a consultant, whatever, there's things that I know I've had to outsource. Maybe I'll get a consultant to do something for me, or there's things that I will outsource. There's some things that I will manage myself. But I think you've got to be able to, work out what's best for you. And also you'll get to a point of burnout if you do everything yourself.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I ended up in hospital. I burnt myself. I ran myself down to the ground. Literally. So it came to a point where I said, I actually fell back from the brand because it was consuming me.
It was taking
and I needed to step back.
I
needed to step back to see, what really was important. And without me, there's no brand. Without yourself, what are you pushing for? Because you leave your 9 to 5 to build a brand for a better life. That freedom. And if you're burdening yourself with the brand, then might as well go back to 9 to 5.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? That's why it's about, this is why I think it's important that we have these sort of chats with people like yourself, because I feel like you can definitely lead a 9 to 5. There's ways to do it, but it's about knowing how to do it and not putting too much on yourself. And burnout is something that happens to a lot of us, people who are just, especially you're passionate about something, you want to get it all done.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I feel like when you work for yourself, you lose boundaries, because, you know, when you're like, you're
exactly
at work, you're like, okay, right, it's finish time, clock off. Okay, done.
Yeah.
But when you work for yourself,
that's not my job spec. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when it's like this, it's more
that ain't my role.
Yeah, it's not my role. That's not for me.
There was times when I'll be up like 3 days in a row working back to back making lipstick.
Yeah, I can imagine. Absolutely.
Knowing I've got to be in an event on the 4th day, and it's just like when you get to the event, you can't even function. Like your mind's foggy because you've been up for hours upon hours.
Yeah, that's too much.
And yeah, it's hard.
That's too much. And not everybody's also good at. I suppose you have to be kind of carry different hats. But I do feel like everyone has their position sometimes. So you might have someone who's really good at sales, so they should be at the events, you know, pushing that. And also it takes that kind of pressure off of you. So I think that's an important observation that you've made. So going forward, you've obviously made some changes with going forward, haven't you? So I think that's an important nugget to share with everyone, about making sure you do take your time and knowing that you can make the transition, but it can be quite what would you say? I'd say it's quite an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? When you kind of cut from 9 to 5.
It is definitely emotional.
Start it.
Yeah, there's challenges, but I think if you're aware in advance what you're going to be up against, because people think, you know, I'm going to leave my family, I'm going to live this amazing lifestyle, I'm going to be on the beach with my laptop, and you need to just be, you know what, be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
And once you know what needs to be, what boxes need to be ticked, it's achievable. It's 100% achievable, but you have to be realistic.
Yeah. And you've got to be ready to push through the hard times as well, because they
are ready.
Hard times,
and I think, you know what, we live in a society where people think being ready and pushing yourself is burning yourself out. And I think
that's not it.
That's not it.
No, that's not it. That's not it. I think pushing yourself is just part of the process. I feel like, do you know what it is? I feel like we've got a bit of a lazy society to an extent, where people are used to just sitting in the job, getting paid.
Yeah.
Some people get the idea like, okay, yeah, I want to leave. But then do you really want to leave when it starts coming to the actual work? So that's why I say, actually, you know, it's not for everybody. It's for those who are passionate. I feel like if you've got a project that you're passionate about, then that will drive you forward. And if you've got, you know, you've got a family and you've got your whys as to why you want to do something, that will help drive you forward. But if you're just thinking, all right, I'm going to leave this job, I'm just going to do this business, and I'm going to become a millionaire, and by the end of the year, no, that's not necessarily how it works, you know. So you get people that are like, hey, I'm going to start my business and do this and do that. I'm like, yeah, well, take your time, because first you've got to get to the first levels, and you know, there's so much more that you start finding out, and you start uncovering different issues.
You have to pace yourself. Exactly.
Definitely. And for you who's making a product from scratch yourself,
don't be afraid to change your plans.
Be flexible.
Because be flexible. I'm not just, you know, pushing a brand. I'm not just pushing a brand. I'm literally manufacturing and retailing product. So it's like, realistically, I'm doing 2 things in one. I could have either just chose to manufacture, or I could have just private labeled a product and just been a retailer, but I ended up doing both. So I think, you know, that's something you need to look at. Most of the big brands don't do both. Yeah,
they usually outsource it. I mean, they usually white label most.
Yeah, they do white label, and then it's just a marketing game.
It is, and even that is interesting, because I've done that as a kind of a trial run, because you know, on Amazon you can sell products on Amazon, right? And Amazon something that is really interesting, because I chose to do like a little trial run with like 500 items that I got. I white labeled it, created my own little, you know, brand, sold it on there, and it works well with something like Amazon. It works really well. But the process in itself was fairly straightforward. But I thought, if I had to like create the product myself and then do that, it's a whole different ball game in itself, because obviously you've got your expenses as your ingredients that you've got, you know, you've got so much more cost to actually factor in from your end, obviously. And obviously you're using really good products. And I remember you reading on the website that you only purchase from those who are fair trade. So that makes it, you know, you've niched yourself even more, but in a good way, because it's actually a great cause. But that will make it, you know, you can only go to certain suppliers.
More challenges,
more challenges for yourself, but great for ethical purchasing and ethical buying. And that's big these days anyway. More people are becoming more conscious. So I think that's important. And then what about your
I think
journey?
With Niz,
go on.
I was just gonna say, I think Niz is more like a lifestyle.
Okay.
Because it's when you tick so much boxes, okay, you're natural, use organic ingredients, you only buy from fair trade, but it's only really a small number of people that actually care about that. As much as it's cool, some people just want, I just want a lipstick the color I want, and it stays on all night. Some people don't care about that backstory at all, but then those that do really do.
They really do. Absolutely. Because I've gone to a few talks on that where actually a lot more of the younger buyers, say the millennials and stuff, they're much more conscious about where their ethical so I think that's really important. But so there is those people who really care about it, and then there's others who are just like, well, actually I like your sapphire blue or whatever, I like it because it's or I like your new colors because that's what I like. So but that's great, because then you've got two different customers to go for. But those who just care about how it looks, and you can cater to that anyway because your products are good. And then you've got those, it's an extra box because it's actually halal, it's vegan friendly, it's ethically sourced. And for others, you'll then get your lifelong customers who are like, actually, that's exactly for me. And the more, I'm sure you're planning on maybe extending your range eventually. Not trying to put no pressure on you. I'm sure you're making loads of anyway.
Well, that's always been a pattern. Even when I look back at my business plan, that's always been there to add more products. But again, I think where the challenge comes in is that because we are a manufacturer, not white labeling, that's another hurdle, because that's something we have to develop ourselves in-house from scratch. All the safety assessments, all the cost that goes with it. It's not just literally going to a supplier, picking a product and putting a label on it. So that's why it's taking so long, because when you're still trying to build a brand, trying to push what you have and develop new products, it's challenging.
Absolutely. And that's why it's always good to kind of focus on the one, which I think you've done really well with, because I mean, you've got celebrities wearing your lipsticks, haven't you? So you've got people who have been buying into it. So that's a great thing. Just keep on pushing it, and your line will naturally expand, I believe, because of, I mean, you might get more funding and whatever the case may be, so you can get but I suppose your thing is made just the development side, because you do it yourself. Do you get have you got like a team of people that help develop it with you now?
No, I'm still like, it's just still, I know. We looked into that, but then it came up with a lot of legal issues and making sure that your formulas are protected and all the rest of it. And it will be easy to find someone to help develop products, but then it's owning that formula. It's making sure that you're covering yourself for the future.
It's not so easy, is it? Goodness,
it's not.
So that means you're in there making batches. You're still making loads of batches then.
I can get people to help me in certain parts of the process, but when it comes to it, really the bulk of it, like the base formula, I have to I'm the one still doing that.
Right. So that takes time. So what do you, in terms of managing your time schedule now, so with that, and with the fact that I know you said that you've recently gone back to work to pick up some more, upskill yourself. So I think that's important. So sometimes you do go into come from 9 to 5, you get out of it, and sometimes you step back to help yourself propel yourself forward, right? So you've kind of essentially doing that. So tell us a bit about that.
So I when I left my normal 9 to 5, pursued NIS, and then that was all cosmetic based and product based, but I didn't want my nursing to expire. You have to be practicing a certain amount of hours over a certain period of time. So I went back to nursing just to keep my registration going. Automatically I learned new skills, and then it just kind of uncovered another avenue for me, because I was like, okay, I went into aesthetic nursing, even though it's pretty much a big contradiction to the actual makeup, because it's not natural. However, it's safe. If you're doing it with the relevant people and you're doing it safe, it's still, we've never said things that are not natural don't do. We've always just said we want healthy, safe, things. So what I'm doing is adding on to the brand. I'm not trying so much to merge it. It's two separate entities. Then I went down that route, and whilst back in practice, I qualified as a prescriber. So
amazing.
Now what I'm doing, we've got the shop, so we've got a clinic where we do sessions.
This is a new clinic, people.
So listen out for this. So
new clinic. Let's plug this properly, right? So
so basically, during the lockdown, I took on a premises and we opened a shop. So we've got NIS Beauty Lounge now. So we've got the whole makeup. We'll have the lipstick in there, doing hair, and also I'm going to be doing aesthetics and running clinics. And so that will be covering things from STI testing, that's, from my nursing background, hay fever sessions, people that want to go for their hay fever injection, anti wrinkles, people that want fillers. So we're going to be
So
covering a lot
Botox,
down there.
fillers, the kind of beauty
Botox,
cosmetics as well. Yeah,
fillers.
cool.
Yeah.
What about
So
skin peels and stuff?
Skin peels, facials, all of that, microdermabrasion.
Cool.
So yeah, there'll be something for everyone.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be into Botox. We understand that. Not everyone's going to be into fillers, but it's there.
Yeah,
I've got the skill.
You've got the skill,
and it's going to be in a safe environment.
Yeah,
with an actual medical practitioner, someone who's fully prescribing, so we can manage complications.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Oh, brilliant! So that's going to open up your beauty kind of world for you. And then I suppose your main thing there is your time management. Like, how do you work it out now? Because obviously I know you've got your parent, you've got your business you're running, you're working. So so your products, do you have like a production line, almost like, okay, I'll do it once a month, or like, is it like that?
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. I used to do it daily. I used to do it on demand as well. I'm not doing that anymore. So what we do, end of the month, we just do massive.
Yeah.
Like we spend like a whole week just making lipstick. Yeah. And then that's what will be available for the month.
Okay, cool.
And do it that way. Then we'll work. I'm going to be working part-time still in the beginning anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to lose my nursing again. I don't want to de-skill myself. I want to stay in it as well, because it keeps you up to date with regulations. It keeps you in the loop.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to come out of that again.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm going to be working part-time, and then the other half of the week I'll be in the clinic. And the kids are all in education now, so I don't have to worry about the 9 to 5 element. I'm just once they're there, I'll be at the clinic, then I'll be back home cooking and cleaning and stuff.
Okay, well, that's good. That sounds like you're going to have a lot on your hands, though. Full on. And even with the clinical practice that you'll be doing, I suppose that will kind of cover your nursing element, won't it? Because you're still
so I will still be practicing, so I'm never ever going to be out of nursing.
You'll still have your registration for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's really cool and interesting, and sounds like you've got a busier time ahead of you, definitely. So I'm sure you're going to be filling up the clinic with people and getting your team together for that, so you're not
we've got, I'm not doing that all over again, so we've got a team already. We've got a really strong team, so and I've been working with someone from the very beginning, so I haven't went in solo at all, which is refreshing.
Yeah, that's always good. That's really good. And then I wanted to ask you about, even though you talk about manufacturing and creating everything yourself, when it came to distribution, was it easy? How was it getting it into like the bigger stores? How did you find that? The challenges that you typically faced?
Distribution was hard. It was actually very challenging, because do you know what happened? It's so weird. We were just pushing a brand on through social media, Facebook, Instagram, on my own platform. We've always had a website, so always had access to people buying and sales online.
Right.
And then we was approaching people. We was in talks with I don't know if I can even say the name, but we was in talks with River Island. We was in talks with ASOS.
Yeah.
We were sending over samples back and forth, and then something really, really bizarre happened. Something happened in the media. There was like a whole Islamic thing, and I'm telling you, the big brands just pushed back. It was just like, well, we're not interested in this right now.
Really?
And we knew it was what happened we knew it was what happened in the media.
Yeah.
Right. And because it was pushing us off at the time as a halal brand, it was just like we got doors slammed in our face left, right, and center. And it was at such a time when we was peaking, the brand peaked, and then that happened. So it was a bit disheartening.
That is disheartening.
Sorry?
Do you remember what it was? What the story was?
Yeah, I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to.
You tell me offline.
I'm not going to mention what. Yeah, I'll tell you offline. But it was mad.
That is crazy.
Like, we was engaging. We was getting responses from these buyers that were interested to send over the product. Blah 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 blah. We were pushing PR big at the time. We had a girl working with us doing PR. She's amazing. Her name's. No, that's bad.
It will come back to you, don't worry.
It will come back to me, and I'll mention it. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's really, really, really good at PR. Proper. Even now, she still does it, and she gets coverage. She gets amazing coverage. Maxine Botan. How can I forget that? Okay. It was mad. And then I kind of fell back from that. I thought, you know what? Forget it. We're just going to keep pushing our own platform, because you make more money anyway pushing our own platform instead of sending wholesale. Remember, we're manufacturing it, so we're losing a massive chunk of our revenue even going through wholesale, even though you get bigger units, but you're losing money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you might as well spend that money advertising and push people to your website.
Yeah.
So after that, randomly my cousin called me, because I work with my cousin, he works on the brand with me. He called me and he said, oh, Boots have emailed us. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, is it a fake email? Check the email address. She's like, no, Boots have emailed us. They're trying to get hold of you. Can you call them or something? I was like, send me the email.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin at the time was in the front room. We was like, is this the email room or what? Called it back and she was like, oh yeah, hi, I'm trying to get hold of you from Boots. She's a beauty buyer from Boots.
Brilliant.
And they've got like a campaign going on where they're going to have like loads of niche lipstick brands in stores. It was like it was big. It was a big project.
Perfect timing as well for you. Yeah,
it was good timing. So at the time when we had raised the money, what we done, and I think is a major mistake, and I wouldn't do it again. Because at the time we were trying to buy machinery. So we was going to buy machinery to automate the lipstick process, which would have freed me up a lot more.
Yeah.
So we was in a process. We had gone to Dubai, we went to beauty shows. We was in talk with buyers. We was raising the money at a time when Boots contacted us. So then when Boots came with this big proposal and they showed the figures and the money you're going to make, the units they wanted, we was like, okay, we took the money, we invested in the Boots project. Going with it, back and forth with they've got their own team, so you can't even say you're going to go and get a stand from elsewhere. They tell you where you're going to go and buy the stand from. We're negotiating with them, we're doing this, that. And then the lady that was pushing the product changed her job role, and they literally just shelved the project. When we already went out and spent the money on raw material, bought loads of cases. We set ourselves up. We've got barcodes. We spent money on just ordinary equipment, not the machinery, which we originally was going to spend the money on. And they shelved the project. So it's like we was now stuck with basically hundreds of thousands worth of raw material and cases and no project. What they done, they put the project online. So they just put us online instead of being in stores. We meant to be in like stores.
Yeah, that would have been brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? And it was across the country. It was amazing. Like I'm telling you, it would have been good. But everything for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything for a reason. I think that. But you know, we ended up investing money in a project that wasn't led by us. Yeah. And then literally just got shelved.
Yeah, that's really upsetting as well, because you've put in so much.
It's disheartening.
It's really disheartening, especially when it's a big brand like that and you're thinking, okay, we're on. And it's hard because, you know, when people do change job roles, continuity doesn't always happen.
That's it. Right. And then it's not her fault. Like obviously she's leveling up, she's doing what she has to do.
She liked your brand.
Right. Hoping the project's gonna, you know, go forward. But anyway, we still was on Boots. We was just online.
Yeah.
But even that, to even advertise with Boots is money. Everything's about money.
Yeah.
And then when you're with a big company like that, it becomes a marketing game.
Yeah.
So you need the money to push that you're even on Boots.
Yeah, you do. I was talking to somebody about this last week, and so she's creator of a children's brand, and she was saying that she got, you know, to distribute her stuff via the bigger brand stores and stuff. But she was saying that money-wise, it wasn't bringing as much for her because you have to market it. You know, the case is you feel like you're in a big store, so you know the job's done. But no, their job isn't to market it. They don't market it for you. That's not their job.
No.
You know,
you can be here, but you need to tell people you're here, which then taking away from your brand and your sales and your this and your that. So it's like it's almost like a catch-22. Do you want units and people to be like, oh wow, you're there, and think that's a whole big achievement, or do you just want to push your brand and make money? It depends what your goal is. And I think for me, the goal was just to make money, because what's the point of pushing your brand, building a brand to push it on another brand's platform when you're losing out, when you could.
I feel like there's two ways of looking at that. Like you said, yes, you could be losing out potentially because you're pushing it on another platform. But then those who just shop on one platform, you'll get a different niche of market potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
But I suppose if it was
what I think was good about being on Boots is that it opened doors for other opportunities.
Yeah,
100%. Because people say, oh, you're on Boots, they take you more serious, take your brand more serious. You know, and it got us ready for retail. Because you know what, I think if that opportunity didn't come up, we probably wouldn't have had certain things in place.
Yeah.
And I think now the brand could be ready to go on any platform. If any other platform came to us now and said, you know, we want to take you on, we've got everything in place to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was definitely
it's like a blessing in disguise. Why is it disappointment? It's blessing element of it, because like you say, Boots is a store. So and all the bigger brands are pushing their products in Boots or in Superdrugs. So if you're in there, that's a thumbs up for yourself anyway. So that helps you get more exposure. And eventually, as demand goes, then you know they will probably, you know, create more. But also you've also got your website too, so then you've got additional, you know, you've got your main platform, your source of income, and you've got your secondary source, because obviously they take a percentage for selling it for you. on
Yeah,
their
so you sell it
website.
to them at wholesale price, and then they
Okay,
in theory do what they want
they
with
do what
it.
they
Yeah,
want.
you
Okay,
do give
cool.
them a recommended retail price, but
They can do
you've
whatever they
already
want with
sold
it.
it. So yeah, they can do what
Okay,
they
okay,
want.
okay. So you just said, are you in super drugs as well? Or is it just Boots?
Well, no, super in Boots, and then
Boots.
Amazon approached us, and we selling them by Amazon. So we literally were selling again the units to Amazon. Amazon was selling it,
And they sell it.
Um,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
then there's
so
another add-on to that. If you're thinking about it with Amazon, is, well, if you're doing it with them that when it works for you, then fine. Another way of you doing it is just you selling it on that platform anyway, but you would have to do what I did, which is fulfillment by Amazon. So you send your products to their warehouse, and
okay,
then you'd sell it, but it'd be your Seller Central, so it'd be your account.
okay, yeah.
And they just take a small percentage for just
Percentage.
holding it in their storage. So that's one way,
Okay.
and it just means that it's
Yeah.
reoccurring, and you keep an eye on everything as well. And that's what actually changed. The lady that I spoke to last week, that what took her to seven-figure business, doing it on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, because she was actually in other stores, and
Amazon is really good
as much. But yeah, Amazon's big, and because everyone's at home
Yeah.
ordering now because of COVID.
Yep.
Everyone's literally at home ordering Amazon. Like, I just see Amazon vans everywhere I go.
Listen, I got addicted. I was like, you know what? I was ordering stupid things after a while. Like, with things you could just go and get in a shot. I was like, I just slow down. Where's if you've got Prime? You're just like, what can I order off this Prime right now?
Because it's coming free next day. Exactly. So you're just like, well, I just keep giving away. But no, that sounds really cool anyway. So you have learned some really important lessons throughout your journey so far, it would seem. Definitely. That's managed you to, deal with the retailing and all different aspects as well. And what about celebrity size? Do you get loads of people trying to get their free stuff off you, or any influencers trying to get their free makeups?
Occasionally, nothing heavy, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Mainly up and coming bloggers.
Okay.
Nothing really big. I think with that whole influencer market, a lot of people have management, a lot of people they're on platforms and you have to reach out to them. And you know what, to be quite honest, I find it easier working with actual celebrities than influencers.
Yeah. More demanding it can be. Depending
it's
on what's
more,
happening.
You get more, you just know where you are. It's A and B and you get C. Sometimes you're just back and forth or you're really trying to reach out to someone. It's just like, you almost like, you feel like you're begging. It gets to a point where it's like, this is too much.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Maybe I'm not good at that. And when Maxine was doing PR for us, she was hitting that. We was in magazines.
Yeah.
We was, she was getting celebrity artists. She was really, really good. And I think maybe she's just good at that. And I'm just probably not.
Yeah. But that's
so
a PR
again, that's enough. It's a PR thing. And I'm not really, I'm probably, my approach is really wrong. But I found it really draining. It's not something I enjoyed at all. But she was amazing. She was really good at it. Amazing, actually.
Sort of work. Yeah, absolutely. Because I've done PR before, so I get it. And it is a lot of that, a lot of pushing and getting a lot of articles out there for your clients, and that's cool. But then there's also the influencer side that you've got to deal with, depending on what industry your clients are from. So and a lot of beauty PRs will have influencers that they deal with for their other clients. So then it makes it easier transition. But again, it's also
they've got that relationship as well.
Yeah, they will have that relationship.
Or
sometimes you don't have to have a relationship with the influencer, but if you've got a brand that they want, they will be there. So it's that too. It's like, what have you got to offer? And if you've got something great like your products, people will be interested because they're like, send me some stuff. Absolutely. So I think that's cool. You've definitely shared some really interesting stuff, and you definitely plan to maybe in the future expand your offering. Maybe.
We will be expanding. It's just how we're going to expand. Maybe it's a point where I think sometimes to grow a business, and you have to look at what the bigger brands are doing, and maybe we will just do what the bigger brands are doing. Maybe we will find amazing products and put our logo in it. Maybe we will outsource. We just need to work out what's the best route to do that. It's just working it out, really.
Fruit and natural side is a really good way to go. So, and I
don't think we'd ever leave that. That's something that's us now. I think people just know us for that. It would be weird if we came in, we wasn't doing natural products again. So that's something we're always going to stick with. It's just how we're going to move forward.
How you go about it. And I think what's good is as you're doing that, and if you educate people about what's actually in the makeup, because I remember someone saying to me that they use, crushed beetles. They use crushed beetles.
Yeah, there's a pigment called carmine, and it's basically crushed beetles. So that in a sense, if a brand uses that, it's a coloring. It's a coloring. Do you know what? It's a nice color. but we don't use it.
We don't
It's
use
actually
it.
a really nice color. In the beginning, I was looking at this color, like, wow, I wonder if I could find you can't find an alternative.
Can't
It's
find
really
it.
unique. It's really nice. It's really rich. But that's because it is what it is. You cannot find another substitute for that color. It's such a beautiful color. But yeah, we don't use. We took that out of. Yeah, not even unfortunately, we took it out.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But people need to know that. Not everyone knows that.
Yeah,
so,
you get it's in crisps.
Yeah,
it's in drinks.
Really?
Yeah, it's in a lot of things. It's in a lot because it's such a distinctive color. It's a nice color.
Wow.
You just got. Sometimes when you just read the back of stuff, because even I could quickly shameless plug, but
plug
this is the book that I basically what I've done. Like, it's not like it's not super creative. If I'm honest with you, it's just what we done. We just put like a list of products or ingredients that we kind of look at crossed out and just say that harmful chemicals and where you can find them and what the health concerns are.
Oh, cool. So is that available at Amazon at the moment?
Is it on Amazon?
Where can I get it?
Actually, it's not on Amazon. It's on our website. So yes, it's on Niz Cosmetics.
Okay, so you can pop over to Niz Cosmetics, check out her book, order her book, which is Lipstick and Lines.
Yeah. So basically A to Z of harmful cosmetic ingredients, lipstick and lines.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to look at that myself, because that's important, because I don't know half the stuff that's in the makeup, and people don't always know.
Do you know what was really interesting in developing an app as well? That kind of like it's hard because there's some people have tried it already, and it's very challenging because it will be a massive database. So that when you scan a product, then you can see if there's any harmful ingredients in there.
Oh, cool.
So we was
working on amazing.
Yeah, we was working on that. So I don't know, maybe something we can look into again.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can get funding for that.
Yeah,
people would definitely be down for that, because people are very conscious. So yeah, definitely something to think about. Absolutely. So my only other thing I wanted to say, looking back over your journey, how did you deal with I always say, like, the self-limiting beliefs and the internal mindset, that war that you might have? Sometimes you've got that little voice in your head that tells you can't do this, or like, why are you bothering? Like, it's like that.
Oh gosh, how that
every entrepreneur faces that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all go through those days when we wake up like, okay, we're good, we're trying to push forward, but sometimes you've got the little mindset war.
Yeah, I think, how would I, do you know what, it's a good question. I think it's something I'm still working out.
Okay.
If I'm honest, there's times when I just feel like I literally just can't be bothered, because I literally cannot be bothered. But I think the main thing is keeping yourself happy and healthy.
Yeah.
I think when I'm happy internally, I feel like I'm capable of doing anything, and that's when I get the best ideas, and that's when I get the best results. It's hard to, especially when you're an entrepreneur, to not have your personal life crossover.
Yeah.
And I think I was at a point maybe like 2017, 2018, where my personal life just consumed me so much, I was unable to focus on a brand. It wasn't an option for me.
Yeah.
And I think that was another element of why I went back to work, because it was for my mental health. I was like, you know what? Let me get back engaging with other adults. Let me get back engaging with new thoughts, new people that are on the same wavelength as you as well. It's important to be in the right rooms.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was having this conversation with my mum just the other day. Sometimes you sit down and just think, I'm in the wrong room.
Yep, I've been there. Absolutely.
I'm in the wrong, what am I doing here type of thing. And you just need to be around like-minded people to keep your momentum, to keep that enthusiasm, to keep fresh ideas. Because sometimes, if like, not in a rude way, if you're the smartest person in the room, we've all heard that quote.
Yeah, you're in the wrong room, mate. Absolutely.
You're in the wrong room. You're not learning nothing.
You're not learning anything.
No one's going to stimulate you. No one's going to prompt you. Even having this conversation.
Yeah.
You've got me thinking about old things and old thoughts, and you need that. It's refreshing.
You need that kind of stimulation. And I also feel like, as an entrepreneur, like-minded people can understand. Like, we can understand certain things and challenges that we go through that others won't.
Stay around like-minded people, because they bring you the opportunities.
Yeah.
You're going to meet someone that, you know what, they can do this or they know that, and you've been looking. It's all about who you know. Forget what you know, because you can know everything. You can have a master's. I could have a degree, which I don't, in cosmetic engineering. I don't know what that degree would be called. That's how much I don't have it. But if I know every single formula and I know every single recipe, but I don't know someone who can put my product somewhere, you just know it.
Yeah,
and nothing's happening with it.
Yeah.
So it's good to be around people that have got connections.
Absolutely. And you make connections by getting out there a bit more, don't you?
Getting out there. And I think it's not it's not detrimental to your brand to be around someone else who has another lipstick brand.
Absolutely
No.
not. I think people get competitive, and I feel like actually there's enough
Too
space for
competitive.
everyone. There's enough space.
There's
for
enough
everyone.
space for everyone, and your clientele and your market is not going to be mine.
Yeah, exactly.
We might have the same product, but we don't have the same demographic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's nothing. There's not a threat
I don't
there.
feel like it should be that anyway, because I mean, people like Coke, people like Pepsi. Like, you know, you're going to have people who've got the same products and they'll go somewhere else, you know. So, you know,
exactly.
it's just about
and people are going to
working
come to you for their own personal reasons. People might come to you because they
Exactly.
just like your journey.
Yeah.
People might come to you because they just like your product.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
you know,
and that's so
it's
true. That's like,
important.
that's why I always say your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, because I do kind of like,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's a key one, because I do a bit of like coaching at the moment, and a lot of people come to me from talks that I've done in the past, and the fact that I do like 9 to 5 work levels coaching, which is those who are trying to get out of the 9 to 5 and they're straddling. And because I've experienced that, and I talk to people who experience it, I can share that, and also share the mindset, because I feel like that's an important thing people don't realize. Like, that transition is so different. Like, I remember when I left my 9 to 5, and then because it's completely different, I remember like taking a bit of a break before doing my own consultancy, and then I'd say, right, I'm going to work these days, and I'd set up, you know, the whole point was I wanted my freedom, right? So I said, right, I'm going to make it work around me, and it was working well, but there was still part of my mind that would like wake up at a certain time. Like, I was so programmed to 9 to 5. It was like, what am I doing here? And it's like, no, hold on, you need to like unlearn certain things. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's a completely different journey that you go on, and it is definitely a challenging one, but I think it's also rewarding, because like you've got your own products that you can show your children and say, well, look, mommy created these products. Look where they're being sold on the website. They're in Boots. Do you know what I mean? Like, and people look around the world and seeing my products. Great. I think that's really inspiring as well. That's why I love that your products are so naturally fruity based. So I'm thinking some people want to kind of do this and start eating it.
I love that. Can I eat it? You can eat it, but no benefits. No nutritional
That's not what we made it for. Which is good stuff though. So is there anything you would impart on anybody else who's maybe watching you and thinking about, I really want to do my own cosmetic line, and, you know, procrastinating maybe?
Do you know what? I'll say do it.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself. If it takes 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, just do it. Do it at your pace. Do it. For me, I feel like sometimes, okay, I've taken a break from a brand and come back, and just based on my work ethic that I was doing the years before, I've had customer retention. Even when we're not marketing, we still get orders. I've got orders this and that now, and I haven't pushed the brand for years. I'll be honest with you, I hardly even post on social media now, but because of the presence that we left, it's carried itself over. So, you know, as much as people say you're building a brand, you're building your brand, so you reflect your brand.
Exactly.
You know, and what you do is what people remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's important to carry yourself in a particular way that, you know what, I want people to remember me for this, and I want to leave this impression. But at the same time, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
it's going to make
time.
Mistakes.
You're human, and you're
right.
going to have breaks. You're going to be tired. There's times I'm tired. I just want to just shut the curtain and just also want to lay down for the day. But know that on the average days you're doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's that give and take, because I feel like you're going to have those days where you're maybe giving yourself 80% to your business, and then maybe not as much at the home, and then you flip it and you'll have to you know, readjust the balance. And I think that's just part of like the learning curve. I feel like there is no like one size fits all. You've got to make it work for you.
Yeah, and I would say, do you know what you see on social media, don't even follow that. Have your own formula, have your own strategies, set your own realistic goals. Be honest with yourself, be realistic with yourself, because some people really do paint this picture that it's all just a bit of roses. You're going to wake up, you're going to leave your job, and it's going to be amazing, and you're going to make 6 figures in 6 months, and blah 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 blah. Be realistic with yourself.
Absolutely, I say that too,
because that's where disappointment comes in, and then that's where people quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you think, you know, this is not working, but no, you haven't given it a chance. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. When you think someone's just blown, no,
they haven't. They've been putting in work for a long time.
Time.
So they just come on your radar, but don't forget they've been doing stuff behind the scenes. There's an image there.
When you look at people's history, you really do see, you know what, they've been putting in work.
Absolutely. I think there's an image that I've seen now. Someone used it at one of the conferences that I was speaking at. It was really cool. It was like the person was like on top, but it was like saying, well, this person's like just came on your radar like a brand, but then it had underneath like a full iceberg of everything that they've been through. And it's like, well, yeah, exactly, because you don't see that part. You just get to see this bit, which is oh, well, you know,
Exactly.
this is Charlene and she creates this great cosmetic line and it's great, but you didn't get to see what she had to go through to get there and all the
Yeah,
ups and downs and the tears and then their smiles and, you know, the things that we all go through. So you're right. I feel like people kind of feel like you can be an overnight success because of the whole culture we live in. Because like, social media,
yeah,
everyone's attention span is so short. So we're in this
so
kind of
sure.
microwave of culture where they feel like, yeah, we can be an overnight success. And it's like, well, no, that's not really how it works. You know, people say that
Exactly.
most businesses fail within the first 5 years, which makes sense
Yeah,
as to your 10 years where people are then the so-called overnight success. So there's a
yeah.
lot more work to put in, but it's definitely rewarding. It's about, I say, you know, weighing up your pros and cons and understanding what it means.
And I think it's about building or creating a definition of what success means to you, because
Absolutely.
success is to you is not what's going to be to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah,
10
absolutely.
sales might be success to you, 100 sales might be, 10,000 might be, and
Absolutely.
also at every step of your journey, your definition of success is going to change.
Change.
So be prepared
Absolutely.
to evolve constantly, be prepared to, always reevaluate where you're at and say, okay, we're going to change the goalposts, we're going to change this. That's the benefit of being a small business,
Yeah.
a small brand, that you can change overnight. You can
Yeah.
implement new strategies, you can do things. Oh, them big companies, when they're making change, it takes them 3 years sometimes to implement a small change,
Yeah. It does.
because
It
there's
does.
so much red tape, there's so much
Yeah.
people that it's got to be filtered down to, this has got to be approved. When it's just you, if you want to change something, change it. If it's
Absolutely.
not working, flip the
You
script.
can exactly, you can change it and you can be flexible. You don't have to be
Yeah,
rigid. You know, I think that's an important lesson
definitely.
too. So no, cool. Well, thank you. And so
You're
was there anything you
welcome.
wanted to impart in terms of what you would say would be the worst or the best part of being your own boss is?
The worst part of being your own boss is not the worst part, but the thing when I went back to work, I was like, I was at work, and then after 30 days, you get paid into your account for turning up.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you get a salary. I forgot that. I felt like I was like, hold on,
I know.
I'm coming in. I get paid to just be here.
Just to be
Like,
here. Yeah.
this is amazing. So that is the only thing I'll say, that you miss having a salary. You miss that. You know what? I'm not coming in today. You call in sick and you still get
You're
paid.
still gonna get paid.
So
Yeah.
them type of perks and annual leave and all of that, I think, that's the only thing I really miss.
That
But
you
other than
miss.
that, no, I think it's
Nothing else.
worth it. And it's
Yeah.
something that, you know what, even if you have to do for just 1 year, 6 months, I don't know, just try it.
Try it
But
out.
keep your
Yeah.
foot in the door. If you can keep your foot in the door with, either your company or you stay in the bank or whatever you need to do what you need to do to make sure that,
Make
what,
sure
if it's
you
not
stay
working,
afloat.
I can bounce back.
Yeah. And I
Or
say
I
that
can
all the
go
time.
back on,
Yeah, because you can always get a 9 to 5 job. But the difference is
Yeah.
your dream is your dream. So go for it. At
Yeah,
least
exactly. Go for it. At least try it. I mean,
try it.
there's success in just trying.
Yeah, absolutely. Because to me, I feel like
Yeah.
the worst thing to do is wake up 10 years later and be like, why didn't I do this with all these regrets? Like, just go for it. You've got one life to live.
Exactly.
Make the most of it.
Exactly.
Well, Charlene, thank you
Indeed.
so much for joining
Thank
us. I can
you.
hear one
You're
of the bumpers in the
welcome.
background. So I'm like,
Yeah,
that's our cue.
busting in on me.
You cue. Baby's like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
hello, got me back now. Thank you.
Hi 9 to 5 work rebels. If you're feeling stuck or looking for a way out of your 9 to 5, then you're going to want to check out my online course, How to Be a Successful Consultant, Earn More and Escape the 9 to 5. You can also check out my book, How to Become a Consultant, a guide to free yourself from the 9 to 5. If you're already in business or about to start your business, then you're going to want to check out my online DIY PR course, How to Get Media Coverage for Your Business in 30 days. It will teach you how you can blow up your profile and profits while saving you thousands of pounds in agency fees in the process. So what are you waiting for? Get busy. The links to both the course and the book are in the description box.